You're welcome to another edition of COVID-19 Women Series, where we capture developments around the pandemic and the impact on women. On today's episode, we'll look at domestic violence against women as a lockdown place to stop the spread of coronavirus has witnessed an increase in domestic violence cases. First, we bring you the story that the United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, recently launched the Spotlight End Violence campaign to rally support to address the spike in domestic violence against women amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Considering the lockdown in over 170 countries, women and young ladies are facing the risks of violence from domestic abuse, rape to even battering. According to him, together we can and must prevent violence everywhere from the war zones to people's homes as we work to beat COVID-19. Some of the factors fueling the violence against women include overcrowded housing, a loss of the usual household routines, difficulties concentrating while working from home, idleness of children, difficulties in homeschooling children, adults reduced to unemployment with a worrying financial impact, increase in general stress and anxiety due to health concerns. The UN Secretary General gave member states the following recommendations for domestic violence reduction: increase investment in online services and civil society organizations, make sure judicial systems continue to prosecute abusers, set up emergency warning systems in pharmacies and groceries, declare shelters as essential services, create safe ways for women to seek support without alerting their abusers, avoid releasing prisoners convicted of violence against women in any form, scale up public awareness campaigns, particularly those targeted at men and boys. The World Health Organization has also given tips for coping with stress at home and actions to take if you or your family members are experiencing violence. Be aware that social quarantine and distancing can affect you and your family's psychological well-being. As much as possible, reduce sources of stress by seeking information from reliable sources and reducing the time spent consuming news, that is 1 to 2 times per day rather than every hour. Seeking support from family and friends via phone, text, email, and so on. Trying to maintain daily routines and make time for physical activity and sleep. Using relaxation exercises such as slow breathing meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, grounding exercises to relieve stressful thoughts and feelings. Engaging in activities that in the past have helped with managing adversity. Women who are experiencing violence may find it helpful to reach out to supportive family and friends who can help practically as well as in coping with stress. To develop a safety plan for their and their children's safety in case the violence gets worse. This includes keeping members of neighbors, friends, and family whom you can call for or go to for help. Have accessible important documents, money, a few personal things to take with you if you need to leave immediately, and plan how you might leave the house and get help, such as transportation and location. Also, to keep information of violence against women hotlines, social workers, child protection or nearest police station, and accessible shelters and support services. Be discreet so that your partner or family members do not find this information. Down to Lagos State, Nigeria, records also show an increase in domestic and sexual violence cases as the lockdown has made it difficult for victims in self-isolation to avoid their abusers, reports have gathered. In an interview with one of the national media platforms, Titilola Vivo Adeniyi, the coordinator of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team, revealed that the state has recorded an increase in cases of abuse since the COVID-19 lockdown started. She noted that before the outbreak, the state used to record an average of 8 cases daily. However, the figure has increased to about 50%, which has made the state to introduce more helplines. Taiwo Adeoti said, before the lockdown, the LSDS-VLC used to receive an average of 8 new cases daily, but since the lockdown came into effect, we started to receive an average of 13 new cases daily, and this is coming from our major hotline. Because of this pandemic, we had to include 2 other hotlines, and we have our USSD shortcode that people are taking advantage of to report, as well as social media. We have increased our accessibility, and we have seen an increase in calls, people calling to report cases, get advice, and psychosocial support, as well as people calling on behalf of others. And that will be all for this edition of the program. If you are currently experiencing any form of domestic violence, please reach out to the contact details shown on your screen as promptly as possible. You can share your experiences and send your comments to programs@poshareng.com or news@poshareng.com. Also log on to our website www.poshareng.com to get our market reports, news, and stories. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching. Have a lovely day and please do stay safe.